Gusto first.
Yeah, obviously a great bounce back win for us. You know, you don't want to drop any game at home, and you know we wanted to come out tonight and be incredibly aggressive defensively, and that game plan really came to fruition in the second half. They made incredible shots in the first half, especially the 2-point jumpers, which is we try to get teams a good steady dose of those shots, but they made some really tough ones. Credit to them. Dwayne Stevens is a mentor of mine, friend of mine. He was my assistant coach when I was at Michigan State. So I've known him a long time, probably all of my adult life, so really proud of what he's done, and it was really cool kind of competing against him, but I'm just more proud of our guys for how we've responded to obviously a tough home loss early in the season. So Gusto was incredible. We had some major contributions from some guys who we challenged over the last few days, and it was great to see them respond in a positive way, and just really proud of the way we bounced back. Now we got a tough opponent coming up. We're going to get some rest and then get right back to it.
Questions for Gusto to start?
Gusto, so moving into the starting lineup, just what did that mean to you? And it seemed like you had a lot of energy early in the game.
It meant a lot to me. I've worked hard the past couple of years. I had a couple minor setbacks, and it meant a lot. It meant the word to me to be starting 5 and help my team win today, honestly.
And it seemed like throughout the game you were kind of growing in your role a little bit, really cutting to the basket with a lot of energy, and then you guys kind of used that to set up some swings for threes. But just when you're cutting to the basket and just kind of finding your groove, just how much can you help the team offensively?
Well, we started doing the flash, and they couldn't out-guard us on the flash. I was just setting the ball early and leaving early, and either they tag me or they go for the three, and they chose to go for the three, and I was rolling and dunking. Simple basketball.
And you mentioned maybe a couple weeks ago that the off season you were finally able to get healthy, and again you battled some injuries, but you also said you didn't go home during the off season, that you were here the entire time. Just how difficult was that, and what's your connection to back home, or just being away from your family? How difficult was that this year?
I have been away from my family since I'm 15 years old, so I'm kind of used to it. But of course, I want to see them at least once per year. It was hard, but well, I play basketball. That's my job. That's what I want to do for my life. So I gotta make some sacrifices.
And in terms of your health, to be healthy now, and obviously you're moving well and jumping well, to be healthy at this point, what's it feel like, and just how does it help you play better?
I almost cussed. Feels awesome. I was close. It feels awesome. Feels awesome.
Anything else for Gusto before we turn you loose? Okay. Thanks, Gusto.
All right, guys. Thank you.
Sorry, I have one more.
Yeah.
So just your length and your defense, and just your ability to switch, and it seemed like you were guarding 1 through 5. Just how much does that help the team with your versatility and just the way you're able to help and just guard so many different positions?
I mean, that's good question. Let me think a little bit. I mean, with my size and my ability to guard, because I'm a guard first, and then of course I can play the 5-2. So my ability to guard everybody on the court just helps the team a lot. I'm in the gaps. I can guard one-on-one. So I let some other guys take a break a little bit, like Josh, so I guard the best player. So I mean, I'm just out there trying to help as anything I can, offensively, defensively, my size, my voice, anything. If you're out there, you got trying to help. So.
And is that a role you're embracing, is guarding the opposing team's best player?
Yeah, no doubt.
That's a lot of responsibility.
No doubt. When I can and have the opportunity, I gotta go out there and do my best job. I'm the best player.
Thanks, Gusto.
All right, thank you guys. You guys gotta stop calling me. I'm bad at this.
You're
Great. Thank you.
It's like your third language. You're awesome. All right. Questions for Mojo? Yep.
So what went into the decision to move Augusto into the starting lineup for Andre?
Well, we have a kind of a 3-pronged center. Bowden Kapke, Andre Screen, Augusto Casilla kind of emerged as a guy that we can kind of play that hybrid position. And the lineups that we had in our last game, that stretch where we came back in the game, that team gave us a great lift and a great deal of energy, and he was a big part of that. We celebrated that in film. That was a silver lining from that home loss, and we kind of went with the lineup that gave us some energy. We're still going to expect contributions from Andre and Bowden, and they're going to continue to evolve and do a great job at that position. But it's really kind of an embarrassment of riches to have a traditional 5-man, a pick and pop 5-man, and a hybrid 5-man who can switch. And so depending on what a team's personnel looks like, we can do some different things defensively and kind of figure it out offensively as well. We did a great job with that tonight, especially in the second half when we adjusted our ball screen coverage. So it's a really good luxury for us to be able to have that versatility at that 5 spot.
And defensively, again, I know that was an area you guys wanted to clean up. I saw you guys doing some trapping in the half court in the second half, but just what were you guys able to do to slow them down defensively?
Well, knowing DJ, Dwayne Stevens, and coming from the Michigan State tree, we know they're going to run sets and they're going to execute them incredibly well. So for us, it's a matter of we try to eliminate a good chunk of the clock by being in 3/4 court pressure, so that they have less times to get to their options in the half court. And in the first half, we didn't yet have as many opportunities to get to our 3/4 court pressure. Obviously, that happened a lot more in the second half. And then I thought we got them to rush a few shots that they didn't want to take because they were playing with that shortened clock. And so that's kind of why we're doing it. Pat does a great job. He's 6'9", he's active. They played a lot of it at Iowa, so he's very familiar with the defense. He actually coaches it in practice, which is awesome for our guys and for our staff. So it's been great to kind of have that added bonus to our defense to kind of give us an extra boost to kind of enhance our half court defense with a shortened clock.
And offensively, I know turnovers have been an issue. It seemed like you guys shorted up in the first half, kind of popped up a little bit in the second half, but just you guys' ability to take care of the ball better today. Just was that something you guys really harped on in practice?
Yeah, we harped on it at nauseum. We're very, very adamant about the not just the turnovers, the quality of turnovers that were popping up. They were careless. That's not us. We pride ourselves in taking care of the basketball. We did a great job of that last year and the year before. And these first 2 games, we just didn't do a great job of that. And it was lackadaisical turnovers. So it was kind of a tightening the screws type of deal, showing them, challenging some guys, to be honest. And for us to come out and have 21-11 is great. Pierre was 6-2 and Finley was 5-0. That's incredible. So again, not just the score and the defense, it's the turnovers. We bounced back in a lot of areas, and we're proud of that. But now we got to progress and continue to build with a pretty tough opponent coming up here this Friday.
And can you speak to Augusto's growth? I mean,
Yeah.
Last year you guys were playing him almost situationally, just with his length and defense, and now for him to start and play long stretches and just again, he seems to be growing as the game progresses, just offensively and defensively. Just what's that say about just his potential and the growth he's put in to get to this point?
Yeah, I mean, you said it earlier. Gusto sacrificed going home and spending time with his family to stay in Indy and get healthy and get strong so that his body could be more durable. Obviously, it's well known that he's suffered some injuries in his, not just here at Butler, but during his time at the NBA Academy. So there were some things that he needed to do with his body that required him to kind of stay here and hunker down. And he, credit to him, he had really invested in that part of his development. So that's the first thing. His best ability is his availability. So the fact that he's just able to play and he's healthy is the biggest piece for him. Then it's all the other things, right? The ball handling, the IQ in the field. He's growing in that regard, probably the most, from a development standpoint. And for him, his ceiling is we're nowhere near it, right? Like he's going to continue to grow, even if he's an older kid. He has so much room for growth because he just hasn't been able to play a ton of basketball these last 2-3 years because of injuries. So, typically when a guy's older, you kind of think he's going to cap out soon. But for him, because of the lack of playing time and opportunities to play, we think that he has a lot of room for growth, and we're seeing that now. And we're going to continue to develop him and continue to kind of harp on some certain things that he's doing well and not doing well. Like the first play of the game, he rolls and has a dunk and shoots a 8-foot pull-up jumper when the guy has a 70-inch vertical. Just go dunk it, right? So, so little things like that, the recognition, where the defense is, where you're rolling to, what are the schemes, where are we going to get advantages from. He's learning and growing in that regard, and it's really cool to see because it's a kid who's incredibly passionate, who really cares, and he's had some bad luck with some injuries, and for a kid to sacrifice and stay here and be away from his family, you want to root for that kind of kid, and he's certainly that.
Coach Mata said the same thing the other day, that he really cares and he seems to bring a lot of energy. Just what does that do when someone is playing with that type of passion? How much does that help the team?
Well, we always say your energy is contagious, for better or for worse. So just make your energy worth catching, right? And he's the kind of guy that his energy is gonna. I mean, he bleeds passion. I don't know if it's the Brazilian soccer stuff or whatever it is, but he bleeds passion. He's hates to lose. He's a competitor, and you always would rather tone a guy down and have to rev him up, and he's certainly a guy whose energy is contagious and in a positive manner, and we feed off of that, and there's a big reason why he was given the opportunity to start. We saw that in that late run in our previous game, and that kind of bled into this game, and we're going to continue to build him. We're still going to have the three-prong attack with our centers, but we're really proud of Gusto and what he brings, not just from an energy standpoint, but also from a production standpoint. He's really playing his tail off, and we're proud of him.
You talked about the strategic factors that went into the lineup change decision. From a personality management standpoint, how do you guys as a staff go about approaching the fifth-year player and saying, hey, we're going to make this change and bring in the second-year player at the start? Like, how do you go about having that conversation?
Yeah, it's obviously it's not an easy thing to feel like you're in a starting lineup and then feel like you haven't played well enough and they're making a change. We made it clear that it's not because we're punishing anybody. We're rewarding the lineup that was played with energy and played with a lot of toughness. It's not, no one's in trouble, no one's in the doghouse. It's not that type of situation. And we're going to continue to play guys who play incredibly hard, and we have a standard of play that we want to abide by and want guys to live up to, and that's all that is. So the message is winning is paramount. Winning comes first before anybody's feelings. Winning comes first before all that stuff. And if you're going to be a team player, that's going to happen. There's 200 minutes in a college basketball game, right? Not everyone's going to play 40 minutes a game. There's going to be adjustments. There's going to be lineup changes. That's going to happen. The ebbs and flows of a season, and that's just kind of where we're in now. There's going to be days where we're going to play some monsters, and Andre Screen's going to have to give us 25 minutes and hunker down in the paint, and Gusto might play less because he's undersized. It's going to, like I said earlier, the versatility is a luxury that we have at that 5 spot, and it might look different every game. So that's what it comes down to, having guys understand that winning is paramount, and those guys care about each other. So they're celebrating Gusto's success in there. That's cool to see.
Yeah, Coach, you ended the game on a 10-0 run. How big is that just in terms of momentum and finishing out the game strong, especially coming off a loss last week?
It's huge, particularly because we've been talking about finishing halves and finishing games much stronger, right? We call them wars, 4-minute wars, and we're trying to win the last war of the first half. I want to win every war, but certainly the last war of the first half, the first war coming out of halftime, and the last war of the game. We feel like those are the ones where we haven't been great, and it comes down because those are the ones when you're tired, where teams have made runs. There's substitutions, foul trouble. There's all kinds of variables that come into play. And I thought today we did the best job that we've done thus far in this early season of finishing war, especially that last one. So a lot of great film to draw from this. There's some really great, I remember some great possessions, great clips we're going to be able to show to kind of establish our standard and show our guys, look, this is the only thing that is acceptable in our program. This level of effort, execution, communication, all those things that we talk about, and we can do it. The film is here, right? So it was great to finish that in that manner, and again, just a great bounce back win for our guys.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank you, guys.
Stats over here if you guys need single page or full up. Thank you. See, hopefully that one's a little easier to write up.
Yeah, it's always well, it's not true because losses give you a lot of good content too. But this one's pretty straightforward. I think it's just a story.
Yeah, I mean, the